All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. All right. So, this is just a little Leo bonus shout out to Shirley. Shirley was hoping for a Leo because I tend to do the Libra and Leo videos pretty close together. I did do a Leo video last night. Today I did Libra, but let's go ahead. If I can honor special requests here and there, I do. All right. So we have a Four of Wands. Beautiful energy for starters. By the way, right after this, we'll do a Fucus because I still owe a Fucus one. But that Four of Wands is here talking about a balanced energy. Nine of Swords is up. It's not just balance. This is happiness. This is a terrific and stable. Hey, Monique. Great to see you, love. Happy Sunday. Slave Princess. Hey, hey. This looks more like very happy, possibly union that somebody's thinking of. And we see this little dude escaping like the House of Horrors or the Castle of Terrors on his little moped being chased after. To me, this looks like somebody's making a break for love. This is, like a jailbreak. This is, if this is somebody coming toward Leo, it is after they slid out right before the big old, gate dropped and locked them back in. This feels exciting. This feels like a little bit of a movie. This feels like, hey, Penny. This feels like the energy of an issue that this character had where they needed to do this for their future, for their happiness. They need to do the brave thing. And now that we have this Seven of Cups, even though somebody's doing something very brave. They could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Does not have to be. They could be possibly Leo, Sag, Aries, and now we also have Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but they did this impulsively. They suddenly were so stressed out, and I think they kept thinking about Leo, and they kept thinking about the life they could have and the life that could be built and the relationship that they could have, and the Four of Wands can be this happy marriage, life full of abundance, and all of a sudden they just went, blah, I can't take it anymore. I have to leave where I'm at, and I have to just go on the run. And oh my God, what have I just done? I don't know even where Leo is. I don't know what to do next. But to me, this looks like perhaps they made the first most important step. Tell me about this Nine of Swords energy. Page of Pentacles, Four of Cups, 10 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so this energy of them suddenly just breaking free and just running for it. I don't know if they were like literally going to a prearranged meeting or dinner or something like that, and they literally just couldn't do it. And they're suddenly sending an apology to somebody saying, I'm sorry, I there's no way. My heart's not in this. I need to go. There's something that I still have to go do in my life, and it isn't having this dinner date with you. I mean, they may have stood somebody up. They may have walked right out of a building. This could have been like some prearranged thing. It could have been romantic / business. It could have been, we keep seeing like going to this fancy restaurant. They were supposed to attend this. I don't know if they were like set up on a date with somebody, but I feel like they're sending their apologies with the waiter to say, tell her I'm sorry, but I have to go. My heart's not in this. They all of a sudden, I don't know if it was just that they couldn't stand the idea that they were about to have dinner with somebody who wasn't Leo, try to start building some life with someone who wasn't Leo. It's like it really hit home. Like I'm supposed to be sitting down across from Leo. That's where I want to be. All I'm thinking about is wanting this life. Maybe they're also not thinking about sitting down at a fancy dinner, but like building and growing and doing something that would, have building a lasting legacy with the person that they want. And all of a sudden they couldn't do it. They couldn't gag their way through a situation that they don't want to be in. I kind of feel like this person might have gotten really emotional suddenly too, like a surge of, I got to get out of here before I start crying because I'm having a, little bit of a panicky want to cry because things are over with my Leo and I'm not over my Leo. I don't want this over. So I kind of think that they just split in the middle of some other date and that they cut something short or they fail to fully show up or they get, halfway to the table where they're supposed to meet someone and they pivot and do a 180 and head straight back out the door. This is because they can't do this anymore. It doesn't work anymore. They got to go. You know, I think we've all had moments like that where we suddenly go, this doesn't work anymore. I know once upon a time, I stood to just exit a very important thing in my life because I was like, this is not for me. I forced myself to sit back down in that moment just because I thought this is too dramatic. But later I had to go back and, have a sit down and be like, so I won't be back anymore. I'm not doing this. It's not right for me. And it was like jaw drop. But we all have those moments in life. Mine was not about relationship, by the way, but just a very huge thing in my life that it wasn't right for me. I've never regretted my choice. I knew what wasn't right anymore. And sometimes sometimes we know what's right for us, and sometimes we finally have it click what's wrong for us. And those are moments that you just can't really fight. I mean, this is a fictional story about a fictional character, but when you finally have that, I mean, this 10 of Swords in the reverse was a pretty big, awakening or coming to Jesus moment where they're like, what am I doing? Why am I pretending that I can let something go that I can't? Why am I pretending that this isn't what's on my mind, down to the fiber of my being? This is what I want. I want a Four of Wands, and I want it someplace else with my Leo. So I can't be here because this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Now, doing the brave thing, making the break. Here they go. What in the hell have I done now? I just exited. And although I'm sure I wanted to exit, where do I go next? Where is Leo? Which direction am I headed? The Magician in the reverse. This does feel super impulsive. This feels rather emotional, but it also feels clear-minded. And then in comes the confusion because they don't know how to manifest the thing that they want next. Holy smokes. Hey guys, great to see everybody. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up if you do enjoy the Leo videos and these bonuses. 10 of Cups upright, the Devil upright. What's great is that even though they're confused about what the hell do I do now, I don't have a plan. I got no idea how to get my Leo back. But the guiding light through all of this is, I'm supposed to marry Leo. I have to marry Leo. This is the second time we've seen something that is a wedding card. Four of Wands can be a marriage. This 10 of Cups doesn't have to be marriage, but it is. We literally see the wedding banquet and the happy duo there being married. But what's crazy is this character is a combination of like absolute clarity. This is the truest thing they've maybe ever done in their life. And this is also the scariest thing they've ever done in their life. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing because I don't know how I'm going to go find Leo. I only know that the thought of being with them gives me peace. The idea of trying to find them gives me total chaos. With this Devil, I actually think this is what was going on in their life. I think that they've been puppeted for a while. Other people were trying to set them up with whoever this was, whoever this feminine was, who unfortunately she's going to get stood up by them. And she doesn't look thrilled when the waiter comes by to say, I'm sorry, your date said that to tell you that they couldn't do this. I don't know what that means. I think you'll know. This was an illusion. They were not going to be able to be with her. And I'm just going to say her, but please remember, I don't read for genders. This could be whoever this character is standing up and leaving because they have to go get back to their Leo. They're really not concerned about her, but I do think that this represents the fact that I don't know who was trying to set them up and maybe make them forget about Leo. No, let me push you in front of my colleague, my cousin, my whomever. Bizarrely, this could have been like an employer who wanted to keep this character really close to them by hooking them up with someone. So it would be like, hey, all in the family. Now I can keep eyes on you and you're not going anywhere. They were being puppeted. So was this woman. The reason I would say that it is this woman that they were being puppeted and some other force was trying to get them together with Leo, or excuse me, with whoever the woman in pink is because she's literally wearing pink here also. To me, this feels like someone wanted to keep them away from Leo because they knew darn well they wanted to marry Leo. Can I just get a name for this character? I don't know what to call them yet. Who are you, character? Can we get your name? The Star. That could be an Aquarius. So we'll call them our star person. Funnily enough, in this deck, the Star has a Magician on it. Now, we've already had the Magician deck, but in this deck, the magician is an awesome DJ. But that magician came out in the reverse. And I've asked specifically who they are. They are someone who, they might be someone who can actually achieve a lot of goals in their life. They could have some pretty amazing talents, actually, which might explain why we have whoever this master manipulator devil person was that was trying to pull strings and get our star person connected to someone other than Leo. Leo was somehow the threat because they loved Leo. And it's because this character has value. They have some kind of skill sets. They can do something. It's like the devil person wanted to attach themselves to this character's talents. And in order to do that, they needed to keep a tight hold on them. And they knew that if this character is that madly in love with Leo, they needed to break this one up. They needed to keep this person away from Leo somehow. That sounds like the only way that would work is if this character were very weak-willed. Because how do you stay away from the person you want just because your boss wants you to meet their cousin, right? So that doesn't track for me personally. But let's see if we can try to make sense of this. How did somebody, that devil person, successfully drive a wedge between this star person and the Leo? Temperance, they may have pulled out all the stops. Once again, so the temperance would not normally ever look like this. This is the only time I've ever seen a temperance card where it actually looks like, instead of balance, it's like almost the 3 of Cups card. It's somebody who has choices between two. They wanted to put a new choice in front of this character. Now, again, if this character loved Leo so much, they wouldn't have been swayed. So I'm thinking that there had to be a lot more to this, right? Meaning a sabotage aspect, something where they really look, the devil is good at what the devil chooses to do, right? Somebody who's going to be manipulative, who has a plan. They're going to be insidious. They're going to be good at pulling strings without people realizing that they're having their strings pulled. And it can be part, carrot and part stick, part punishment and coercion combined with let me prey upon your mind with fears, let me manipulate and trick you, let me tell you some lies that you start to believe, let me talk trash about somebody until I can turn you against them or make you doubt a connection, then let me swiftly smooth somebody else in to your life that's always there and very supportive and blah, blah, blah. So they may have tried to first sabotage by talking in this character's ear, like, oh, that Leo is too young for you. That's, obviously you wouldn't want to be with that Leo. That Leo is not, that was just a brief. The reason I say that they used some tactic to tell this person don't care about Leo is because, do you want flowers or do you want diamonds? See, somebody who's still immature, somebody who's, yeah, of course Leo's super attractive, but you're not going to stay with the Leo. That's just it's a lighthearted romance. And they weren't that serious about you. I mean, the devil might have done an awful lot to make it seem, remember, this is the temperance card, to make it seem like it's such a much better choice that you listen to my words. I have so much wisdom. Let me explain to you, star person. You don't love the Leo. You were just a little infatuated, but Leo's not that serious about you. Instead, here, meet this other person who's, very well off. They're my cousin. They're this, they're that. Meet this other individual. They're a better match for you. And, it's all meant to be. If they were successful in turning this character's head in a different direction, it may have been to insist that Leo really wasn't that interested in them. And the devil is, again, very, very good at honey-coated, sugar-coated, sweet, sweet lies that make it sound really believable. And if there was any space where this character wasn't around Leo enough to have it reinforced, no, Leo is my person, they could have started to doubt the connection because they're being told again and again, Leo doesn't, Leo's not that interested in you. Leo's just just a lighthearted, just someone that you randomly went out on a date with. Forget all about the Leo. Now, I'm trying to explain this from the devil's perspective and how the devil could be that persuasive, even though I will still say everything in me as a storyteller. Well, no, I should say this. Everything in me as a person rails against that and says, bull. I don't buy it for a minute. Nobody who loves somebody is going to let the devil talk them out of it. But that's not fair to say, because what do we know until we walk in someone else's shoes, right? So as a fictional storyteller, we'll tell the fictional story that's here, but just sorry, Sassy Kate has to come out. I always say I ride it's like my sassy side comes riding in. My alter ego is Sassy Kate, who rides like a Harley or a hog. It's really loud, and I just come in and bust up a perfect storyline by being like, I don't like it. I'm sorry, I just did that, Leos. I've been trying not to be so sassy lately, but this one is kind of getting under my skin a little. I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. We have the Six of Pentacles. Again, here's another example of extreme amount of manipulation. Somebody who pretends to be a friend, but look at this. Here's the house in the casino. And then we have this other character who is very slyly. It's like now we have two people ganging up on this individual. The house is working with, let's say this is the owner of the casino, and this person does not know that the person sitting next to them is not just an average Joe, not a friend, not their employer, but somebody who already has a plan where this character was going to lose, but the devil is very good at saying, see, I'm your friend. You know, I'm wiser than you. I'm older than you. Let me give you some great advice here. Look, stick with me. Your life is going to be amazing. You're going to have wealth beyond belief. It's going to be dazzling. It's going to be amazing. Forget all about the Leo. This is where you're meant to be. And they might have like really showed this tremendous warmth and made such a fabulous case that, look, your life, you're going to see all the signs that you're meant to listen to my advice. Forget the Leo. You're going to be so wealthy. You're going to have this awesome life with me. Why did this devil do this? What was their ultimate motive here? Because it's a little crazy. The Death card and the Seven of Wands. The Death card, I'm going to say it just like I see it. They wanted to suck this person's talents dry. They wanted to make sure that this character stayed totally connected to them. Part of the devil's purpose in anything is just power and control. It's madness, right? Who cares about power and control for zero reason? Like, I understand when you have to have power to get something amazing accomplished, right? You have to find the right people, you got to hire the right people. I even can understand people that are like, well, I want to, I come from a lack mentality. I need to, climb my way up, and it's fear that drives me. And I want power and control because once upon a time I had no power and no control over my life. I can understand that. But someone who just wants to drain somebody else's talents dry, I mean, maybe it was so they could make a lot of money, but it was because they thought it would change their life, but they also wanted to block this person's blessings. This almost feels like a desperately bitter person. And I don't know why it keeps feeling like it was like a boss figure that really wanted to make sure that this character couldn't go toward Leo. Maybe it was anyone else who just doesn't want somebody happy, but they also somehow were going to benefit off of this star person's talent. And remember, for this story, as specific as it is, they do come across as a talent. So I can understand that people will find talented individuals and then try to get their tenterhooks in, because it's like, you're going to make me millions, but I need you to stay close to me because you're a talent I can't let slip away, especially not for the sake of romance, because who has the most power in anybody's life? The person that we love. The person that we would, change our world for is the person nearest and dearest to our heart. Well, no wonder Leo would have been the ultimate threat to a character who wanted power. The devil wanted this person's talents, maybe to make them money, but there was a meanness here too. Not surprising since they were the devil, but they wanted to block this person, maybe even knowing what other life they could have had, or they wanted to block this person's ability to be successful unless they were going to get to own that person's success. So this feels, I mean, maybe this devil card was like a family member who was like, I want you to stay close to me and do what I want you to do. So I'm going to definitely keep you away from the person you actually love. Because if you're in love with Leo, they're going to become your number one. I need to give you a reason to stay close to me, and I'll keep you dazzled and entertained with some other, maybe a little bit of extra money, maybe the illusion of having a life of luxury, even though I'm going to be holding all the cards. I'm going to get you more indebted to me. I'm going to make sure I get Leo away from you, and then I'll introduce kind of a false relationship that for a while might make you think that I guess this is where I'm supposed to be. So I will say, pretty big manipulation tactic in this one. Very targeted. And it worked until this moment. Why did it suddenly break? Why did our character suddenly say, I'm done with this. I'm going to split. We saw that they had this moment of, all I think about is Leo. And more than ever, I feel like Leo's the person I'm supposed to marry. I don't want to meet up with this other woman in pink. I don't want this. I am desperately unhappy. How is it that it suddenly comes to their mind and becomes so clear? Wow, the Lovers in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Well, on one hand, I don't know if they suddenly have this idea that this isn't temporary. The decisions we make in life yield the results, and this is what the rest of our life will look like. If they left Leo, that's it. Maybe they were envisioning, what if Leo is sitting down to have dinner with some other person? It almost seems like they never really thought that Leo would never be a part of their life again, and they suddenly, it's like I want to say that the trap kept tightening around them a little tighter and a little tighter. Maybe the devil outplayed themselves on this one, because they set this character up to go meet somebody else. You're going to fall in love with this person. And I think they got that moment of panic where they said, oh my God, this is really it. I'm being pushed into a connection with someone that I know I don't love. I don't feel that way about them the way I felt about Leo. And now I'm having this idea that, what if this was my life with this person in pink that I'm being pushed toward, and I never talk to my Leo again? And it's like they never actually thought that they wouldn't still marry Leo, which I don't know how you could sit around and say that when you've let somebody come in between you and the person that you profess to love. But all of a sudden it's like, I'm never going to marry Leo. If I sit down and have this dinner with this woman in pink, that's it. It's over. The life I've still been secretly keeping locked inside, the dream that I've still had to be with Leo, is gone. So I think they only just now realized that all this time they'd still thought, this time that I'm dealing with the devil here, the truth is this is just something, like this taking a couple months of my life, or maybe a couple of years. But inside, they always thought somehow it was going to come back around to them and Leo. And in this moment, they realize it might already be too late, frankly. I would assume that they've already burned a bridge thoroughly, frankly, but they're just now, what I feel like, in the, Pinocchio, I think it is. It's been so long since I've seen these old Disney films, but in Pinocchio, don't they go to some island and then they become donkeys? And it's like all the, it seems like it's going to be really fun, but then it's awful. It feels kind of like that. I think it's Pinocchio. Somebody fact check me. But it feels like that. Like all of a sudden they realize, I'm a freaking ass. I've been in this weird la la land, this wonderland that was supposed to be fun and blah, blah, blah. But this isn't really even what I wanted. And now it's downright scary. And now I'm realizing what I've sacrificed or what I'm losing. And I'm not going to be able to go back to my Leo. In fact, did I already lose my Leo? And in this moment of panic, they kind of freak out and they split. The need for Leo and the need to believe they can still marry Leo is actually it suddenly fills them. It's kind of like the light inside of them suddenly rises and pushes back the kind of the darkness of the plans of the devil. So what does that mean? Because here they are rushing away. Here they are escaping. We have a Queen of Wands in the reverse. Well, I don't know what's going on in Leo's day, but this would be our Leo. Maybe this is a tough day for Leo, the day that they freak out and leave. Maybe Leo's in a moment of struggle themselves. The moon, the nine of pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, in this fictional story, a Leo is actually having a really tough day. Maybe they had some catastrophic, like, this is somebody on their way to work. Maybe they found out their job's not going to work out right now. Somebody who doesn't feel emotionally successful. And if you look close, somebody might be doing something dirty, because this is a little thief who's cheating. If somebody does something mean to Leo on a particular day, it's like, well, there's always some villain lurking around somewhere, perhaps. But it looks like the Leo has dealt with somebody like that, and it's revealed. And it could just be like a, man, what a bummer that somebody, stole something from me. What a bummer that, I'm going to have to go find a different job because I'm not going to deal with the boss who cheats me. It could just be a bummer day. And I think, unbeknownst to Leo, because the moon is here, they don't know that it's weird how I don't know how to explain this other than this is kind of like the devil's energy is so pissed that they lose control over this person, that it's kind of like their energy flits across the universe and kind of impacts Leo in a negative way. And it's like Leo has no idea that this is because somebody's pissed at them, because they already know that star person is headed straight toward Leo. Somebody does something rude, and it's just like the bad vibes, just the bad energy that hits Leo's life. And it's like, damn, what a crap day I'm having. I don't know where this came from. Normally, like, it's pretty decent. I do, the stuff I'm used to doing in life, and I'm busy and successful, and I work hard, and I have, my hard work yields good results. But instead, everything goes belly up. I just have a crummy day. Why am I having a crumb day? Well, it seems like it's a direct result of like the wrath of the devil for losing control of the person that they wanted to keep away from Leo. Because I'm sure that this devil knows immediately where this character is headed. They're looking for Leo. Tell me a little bit more just about Leo. We don't care about the devil anymore. The devil is not going to have that much power. Big deal. Throw your temper tantrum. Be crummy. Send out a little bit of bad vibes. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Disempower the devil every single time, all the time. The devil doesn't have any power that a character doesn't give to them. Acknowledge that, so what? Crummy day. So what? He did something rude to me. Doesn't matter. I don't know how this character, if it is the devil directly impacting Leo's life like that, it's, I think, going to peter out pretty swiftly. It's just like when somebody just randomly, like, cuts you off on the road, or flips you, flips the bird for no good reason, or is super rude, and it'll like hit you all in one day. Like, that's really common here. Like, on my channel, I'll have 99.99% of people are so lovely, so amazing, so gracious, so kind, so generous. And then I'll have just like a 1 week period where I will have more insane hate mail in like 3.5 days than I usually will have over the course of months. And it always comes in a wave, and it's always all at once. And I'm like, everybody got pissed about something at the same time. And that's kind of the vibe here. But it doesn't last, and big deal. So there's some meanness, So people are lashing out and behaving bad. Not the end of the world. Maybe this is around a full moon. You know how they always say people get nuts around the full moon. Maybe that factors into this story, because I don't feel like it's catastrophic. It's just kind of like a bummer day. And then the next day, guess what? Feels a lot better for Leo. We got the world upright. We got the King of Swords. They're back on track. Everything's organized again. Stuff makes sense again. But I do feel like Leo's going to have like the ripple of crummy day. And then the following morning, it feels like all is right with the world. Things turn around. Angry people are kind again. If he was hitting Leo's business, their business feels good again. In fact, they could have a super big win. They could have something amazing happen, a promotion, something fantastic. But I do think it's funny that it's right now I'm picturing like a radar screen where there's like a blip on the radar screen, and that's the irritation of the devil that just vaguely impacts Leo. That's a weird side note. I've never had a storyline like that. Okay, so let me just see. What happens for this character? God, this is getting so long. I didn't intend this, but it is what it is. Tell me, how is this character approaching Leo? And I'm going to stick with this deck a little bit as we wrap this up. 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 5 of Cups in the reverse. You know what's crazy? As this, because we already know they made a break for it, right? They're done dealing with the devil. They may lie through their teeth about where they're headed. They may act really sad, sorry. They may come up with a whopper, especially to tell the woman in pink. Here she is again, a woman in pink. They may come up with a whopper about, sorry, I had to run out because my Nana's sick. Even if they don't have a Nana, I had to go. It was really hard to tear myself away, but nope, looks like I won't be back. No, it doesn't look like we can reschedule. Nope, it looks like I'm gone. I feel like they are going to go ahead and move on from this and never look back. Their party days, their gambling days, their days of listening to the devil, their days of having to deal with the woman in pink being pushed in front of them, their days of actually being miserable, but plastering on a smile and thinking, I guess this is where I'm meant to be. I guess this is good. This is fun. I think it's finally turning around. I think that they're done. They are kind of outplaying the devil. They're gone. I feel like they're packing up and they're out of this life. Knight of Wands. It's like, hasta la vista. I'm out. And we even see them in a much more cheery attitude. We see them with their little red car. We see them, that card is sideways. So it's like, I'm ready to take off now. I'm really ready to go. They put a stop to the control factor that was hovering over them with the devil. If this was a career or a job, they may suddenly say, oh no, family emergency, can't work, because they need to disentangle themselves from the devil completely. They're going to have to put distance, physical distance between themselves and the devil. And we have this Page of Wands and, Ace of Wands and Page of Wands. So they're pretty much instantly focusing their thoughts on kind of wide open spaces. I don't know if this is where Leo lives, is someplace where there's a lot of open farmland. But you notice when they started to kind of have like their panic attack moment of saying, I'm thinking about Leo, I'm thinking about marrying Leo and being with them. It feels like they are, that song Leaving Las Vegas is in my head right now. All the lights are so bright. Jack Black on a Saturday night. Black, whatever. Sorry, Sheryl Crow. I love the song so much, but if I'm not good with lyrics unless I'm actually singing it. And then it pops out because I don't know they're stored in my brain until it comes out. But this feels like as soon as they literally get out of an environment, they start to get calmer. They start to have more clarity. They start to enjoy the drive. They start to get more excited. They start to be focusing more and more. You notice everything is wands now. That's Leo energy. It's like their whole energy shifts. They get more excited and more confident as they approach wherever Leo's at. This is one, mile at a time or one step at a time, but they are moving toward the Leo for sure. Final message on this. I don't know how far they need to go to get to the Leo. The 6 of Wands. We see them eventually working in those orchards, happy as a clam. This character is somehow getting back to their Leo. Somehow they're going to find the happiness that they want. They may feel a bit like a clown that they ever detoured away from this. How is Leo going to feel about all of this? What we see here is the crazy outcome. Like they're sure that they're ending up with Leo and it's going to feel amazing. Leo is going to be stunned. Look at the look of shock and surprise. They could show up during Leo's workday. They could show up very unannounced. And it could be that moment of, I cannot believe this person is like a ghost before my eyes. This is about healing. It's also about silence. I think that there's a gobsmack moment of, I can't believe that this person is here. We don't see the intricacies of how these two are going to get this relationship back on track, especially when someone has been lured away for so very long. We'll get one last card on that. Five of Wands. A lot of conversation, a lot of intricate conversation. That's how, if these two can talk it out, Five of Wands is like, I mean, it's serious hashing it out. It's dissecting everything that occurred. And you notice how the clown, which by the way, that is them in the clown suit, they may say they feel like an absolute fool, like an absolute clown, that they ever listened to whatever the devil said in their ear. And it's kind of like as they talk this out, because here they are in the clown suit talking with the Leo, and both of them are like waving these branches frantically, trying to get the crows away from, coming and pecking all the fruit to bits and pieces. This is a great representation of kind of what happened. Like the devil is kind of like the crows coming in and, tearing stuff up. And what they should have done is they both should have protected the relationship. This person feels like a clown that they ever let the devil maybe say stuff that wasn't even true, convince them that, well, Leo doesn't care about you. They're super hot. No wonder you were drawn to them, but it was just infatuation and they don't really like you anyway. They both should have talked to each other maybe to find this out, or certainly this character should have talked to Leo to say, my boss says you don't like me. You're not interested in me. Is that really true? It's like they got so mixed up in their head. And I think it's only just now that a lot of stuff is going to be waved away. A lot of the things that should have been dismissed before had they communicated, but they didn't do it. It's like every time they could have talked about something, the opportunity was either swept away or the devil made sure it wouldn't happen. All of this is what they have to hash out, because I think that there was a lot of sabotage that went on in this connection. So I guess that's how they're going to make this work. That was an interesting one. That was definitely, I feel like it was a bit of a mini series, and it went on as long as an episode of a mini series would have. You guys, thanks so much for being here. Really nice to see you guys. Adam Holst, thank you so much, you angel. Lots of love to you guys. Oh, Tavizi versus Gravity. Happy birthday tomorrow. I hope you do something absolutely fantastic to celebrate. Susie, thank you for being here, honey. And happy birthday to all the Leos out there, right? Because we're in Leo season right now. Hey, Flo. Thank you for hanging out. Soul Sun, nice to see you. Kung Fu Panda, hey. Sweetheart. MacDonic007, thanks for hanging out. Are you really look beneath the surface? Hi. Live indeed, darling. Barbara Johnson, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you so much for confirming that. Patricia Bucator. Oh, Shirley, my pleasure. Thank you for requesting it. Ray Amber, happy birthday, honey. That's awesome. Star Child, keep shining, darling. Sierra Clark. Manuel Mihai, excuse me. Thank you for being here, honey. Hunter Ellis. Hi, Lotta. Mud Smoke or Moki. Monique B. Have a wonderful and exciting time as you go on the run. Congratulations to new adventures. May you find something so much more perfect and more suited. That is awesome for you for making the choices that you needed to. Megan, Sherry Marshall. So good to see everybody. All right, you guys. Hey, Cora Bell. Oh no, Cora Bell. I am sending you guys lots of love in NorCal. Oh my gosh. You sweetheart. I'm sending you guys lots and lots of thoughts of safety and calming energy, and definitely I know what you mean. We're in a fire corridor also, and it's so the fires move fast. In fact, this is true story. I had to call 911 today because somebody lit a fire along like a breezeway, a corridor that I was driving on. And I thought for sure I wouldn't be the first person to report it because there's tons of traffic. Nobody had reported it yet. And boy, I was so impressed. I mean, literally, I pulled over to call 911. They instantly were like on it. And by the time I hung up, there were already fire trucks that I could hear. And I was like, this was the most amazing response that I have ever seen in my life. I think I've only ever had to call like 911 twice in my life for, as a witness, a passerby or something. And I was just stunned. I've never seen response that fast. So all I can say is everybody's taking fire season really serious. And I'm so grateful to all the firefighters out there. What a scary time, but also for everybody who's in the midst of these fire zones. So everybody stay really safe. And I send you guys lots and lots of love and protection. Corabelle, I'll be thinking of you. Touch base a little bit here and there if you can. Let me know you're doing all right. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.